Doing okay, Mary Kay. Trying to figure out, exactly what the Browns are trying to do with this new structure, and it seems to be very analytics heavy. Paul DePodesta brought on board. Of course, Sashi Brown, a big analytics guy. It's kind of what everyone is talking about. Are you a little surprised that the Browns are going this route?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't really see that this was the whole paradigm shift that was coming. I really didn't understand it, that's what they were doing until they made Sashi, the executive vice president of football operations. I heard they were doing things, but I didn't know exactly where they were going with it. I knew that maybe Alex Shiner was in line for something, a different title, which at least to this point they haven't done yet. So yes, I was a little bit surprised. And then when they hired Paul, I really like that hire. I've always been for progress, change, innovation. And I like the fact that they're really trying to be progressive and spin it forward. These guys are so brilliant that, it just seems to me that it would almost be hard for them to fail at what they're trying to do. I mean, these guys are so incredibly educated at Harvard, and I really think that they have a chance to get this right. I like what they're doing.
Mary Kay, when I was listening to Jimmy Haslam's press conference announcing the changes and trying to explain everything, the direction of the team, something stood out to me, and I want you to see if you can help me understand what he was thinking. He basically said that the decision that he made to fire Ray Farmer and Mike Pettin were because he didn't feel like the team was going in the right direction. He didn't like the direction that the football team was going in under their watch. So my question would be, if Sashi Brown was also a part of that, his disappointment with this season and with that regime, what was it about Sashi that allowed him to stand out to get a promotion from within when he didn't like anything else that was going on?
Well, I think what he's trying to say there is that there was already trying to be sort of a push towards more of the analytics, sort of numbers-driven side. They wanted to be, involved in football decisions. How often have we heard over the last year or so that Alex Shiner wasn't staying in his lane and that he was trying to get more involved in football? And I think this is what it was about. It was the push towards analytics and being able to be involved in football because you're basing some things on the numbers and the statistics and the probabilities and those kinds of things. So I think that's what he was talking about, and that perhaps the two sides, weren't really in concert on that, that maybe Ray and Mike weren't, they wanted to handle it from a football, old school perspective. And, maybe the things were not welcome that they were getting from the business side. So I think that's what Jimmy's talking about. Now, he wants there to be a lot of collaboration between the business side and the football side. And this is the way that they're going. And Sashi was sort of the bridge to those things.
Mary Kay, it seems like maybe there's a misperception out there that Sashi Brown and Paul DePodesta are going to be sitting in the draft room, the draft war room with spreadsheets and whatnot, and there aren't going to be football guys making the decisions. But ultimately, there will be football guys, a head coach and a general manager. How much say are they going to have? Sashi's got the final 53, but how much say are those two guys going to have in who the team drafts, who the team signs? Maybe that's hard to say because we don't know who they are, but just kind of your guess.
I think Sashi and Paul will be very, very, very involved in football decisions, and I think that the GM and the coach will also be heavily involved, and I think that they are going to all have to put their heads together and find the balance between using their people skills and those kinds of things, because you can't apply analytics to football in exactly the same way as you can apply it to baseball, because baseball is more statistics and numbers driven. There's a lot of subjectivity going on in football with, offensive linemen and different positions and how certain things are done or played. It's not just, batting average and things like that. There are a lot of numbers that you can use in baseball, but football is obviously more of a team sport, and it's just an entirely different approach. So I think they're going to have to all put their heads together and find a way to use the new technology and the newer approach. And again, it's not new; it's just really kind of newer to football teams using it as much as the Browns plan to. And I just think it's going to take, like Jimmy said, a collaboration of everybody being willing to be open to it and finding the balance between the two sides.
Mary Kay, of course, interviewing a guy doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to accept the job, but given the way that the last couple of coaching searches have gone and given the new structure in the Browns front office, are you somewhat surprised that the Browns have been able to line up these interviews with what a lot of people would consider the top coaching candidates available?
No, not at all surprised. Remember, there's only 32 of these jobs available, and they are hard to come by, and the Browns still, regardless of what they've gone through, have an incredible, rich history and tradition. They still have a very, very strong fan base throughout the world, not just here in Northeast Ohio, of course. And it's still a really great opportunity and a great job for someone. So I'm not surprised about that. Now, when it comes down to actually landing maybe the top one or two candidates, if they have a chance, to maybe go to another place where there's been some stability, like New York, I think that they would probably weigh something like that very heavily over a place where the last four coaches have lasted 2 years or less. So that's going to be a huge issue. But in terms of getting guys in the door to interview, not only are they coming in the door to interview, I know for a fact that there is a number of them that would be honored to have this job.
All right, Mary Kay, we're going to put you on the spot. Call your shot. Who's getting this job?
Well, you know what? Right now, I think that Adam Gase is probably their number one choice.
Okay.
And from what I understand, the Browns are still in the running for Adam, even though he's going to have other opportunities. The Dolphins are going to try to keep him from getting out of there today. And the Eagles are bringing him back for a second interview. But I think there's something about this job that I think intrigues him. I think he likes it. I think he sees it as a challenge. I think he likes Jimmy Haslam. And I know the Browns want him. So right now I'm just going to say Adam Gase, even though I think he'll probably have other opportunities that will be very attractive to him.
All right, Mary Kay, thanks for the time.
Thank you, guys.